Okay, real talk. I just wasted 3 hours of my life trying to delete one file from Windows 11. The service keeps restarting itself. The file comes back like some kind of digital zombie. Windows literally gives me error messages that might as well say, "Try again, loser." And my buddy who switched to Linux last year, he's already finished his work, played Elden Ring, and is halfway through a Netflix series. So I had to know, what are Linux users seeing that we're missing? And honestly, after going down this rabbit hole, I get why they're laughing. So look, for the past few weeks, I've been making these videos about Windows 11's spy files, the activities cache thing, all the telemetry stuff, Copilot basically watching over your shoulder while you work. And the comments section? Absolute chaos. And here's the thing nobody wants to admit out loud. You straight up cannot fully disable Windows telemetry on the Home Edition. Like, Microsoft literally designed the system so that you can't turn everything off. It's not a bug, it's a feature. For them. Look at this nightmare. There are like 47 different privacy toggles scattered across 5 different menus. You spend an entire hour turning every single one off, feeling like a privacy ninja. Then, Windows Update rolls through overnight and, surprise, they're all back on again. It's literally whack-a-mole with your own computer. Oh, and we gotta talk about Recall for a second. This is Microsoft's new AI assistant that takes screenshots of everything you do every few seconds. Everything. Microsoft's like, don't worry, it's opt-in. Your data stays on your computer. We added encryption after everyone freaked out. Cool. Except security researchers already found it capturing credit card numbers, passwords, and your bank account details. All that stuff it's supposedly smart enough to ignore. You know what Linux users did when they heard about Recall? They didn't panic. They didn't rush to disable it. They didn't need 17 Reddit threads explaining workarounds. They just laughed. Because this entire problem doesn't exist in their world. Alright, so let me show you something that absolutely broke my brain when I first saw it. I'm going to do the exact same task on both operating systems. Just deleting your activity logs. That's it. Windows 11. Open command prompt as admin. Okay, searching for it. Type the netstop commands. And error message. Of course. Google the error. Okay, trying task manager. Still locked. Why is it locked? Back to Reddit. Someone must have solved this. Try again. Maybe it worked this time. Who knows? Total time, anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. Open terminal. Type rm/numrf flash.cache. Hit enter. Done. 3 seconds. It's gone. Actually gone. And I'm not talking gone until your computer decides to bring it back. I mean, gone. Deleted. Finished. Moving on with your life. But wait, doesn't Linux track your stuff too? Here's the wild part. Modern Linux distros like Ubuntu and Linux Mint have literally zero telemetry by default. None. And if some company tried to sneak tracking in, the open source community would absolutely lose it and fork the entire project overnight. That's the power of open source. The code is right there. Everyone can see it. No secrets, no hidden agendas. Let's keep going because this gets better. Bloatware. Windows. Can't uninstall Edge. Can't fully remove Copilot. OneDrive keeps coming back like a persistent X. Linux. You want Firefox? Install Firefox. You don't want it anymore? Actually delete it. It's gone. Forever. No ghost processes. Updates. Windows. We're updating your computer in 10 minutes whether you like it or not. Linux. Hey, there are updates available. Install them whenever you want. Or don't. We're not your boss. Who's actually in control? Windows. Spoiler alert, it's Microsoft. Linux. It's actually you. And that AI assistant everyone's talking about takes screenshots of your screen every few seconds. On Linux, there's no AI babysitter unless you specifically install one. And if you do, it's open source code that you control. This isn't me saying Linux is better like it's some kind of sports team rivalry. This is about an operating system that actually respects you as a human being. Okay, I can literally hear you through the screen right now. You've got questions. Let me tackle the big ones. But I can't game on Linux. You know this thing? The Steam Deck that literally everyone loves? The one that's been selling out constantly? Yeah, it runs Linux. Like pure, actual Linux. Linux now supports around 90% of Windows games through this thing called Proton. Most AAA games, they just work. You click play, they run. And here's the kicker. A lot of games actually run better on Linux because you don't have Copilot, Recall, and FIF services absolutely devouring your RAM while you're trying to play. But Linux is too complicated. I'm not a programmer. Okay, watch this. I'm installing Linux Mint right now while we talk. Click install. Click continue. Continue. Enter your name, pick a password, click install. Done. 10 minutes. That's it. Meanwhile, installing Windows 11 makes you create a Microsoft account, answer 20 questions about privacy invasion, personalization, and sacrifice your firstborn to the update gods. If you can use Windows, you can 100% use Linux. They look almost identical now. But I need Microsoft Office for work. LibreOffice. Free. Opens all your Word docs, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations. Looks similar enough that you'll figure it out in like 5 minutes. But my work uses Office 365. Cool. Office 365 is a web app. You know what runs web browsers? Linux. Chrome works perfectly on Linux. Problem solved. You're not losing anything. You're gaining your sanity back. But you know what? This isn't really about specs and benchmarks and which OS can run more programs. It's about something way bigger than that. When you use Windows 11, you spend half your time fighting your own computer. Why can't I delete this file? Why did Windows re-enable all my privacy settings again? What data is Microsoft collecting right now? Why is my computer restarting for updates when I'm literally in the middle of a video call? You're constantly playing defense, always reacting, never fully in control. But on Linux, you just use your computer. It does what you tell it to do. It doesn't phone home. It doesn't restart without asking. It doesn't re-enable settings you turned off. The OS works for you, not for Microsoft's data collection, not for training their AI, not for their diagnostic telemetry. Check this out. I'm going to show you what my Linux computer is doing right now on the network. See those? Those are my apps, connecting to places I chose, for reasons I understand and wanted. Now, let me show you Windows 11. What even are all these? What data are they sending? Why are there so many connections to Microsoft servers? You know why you'll never get a real answer? Because the code is closed, locked away. You're not allowed to see what your own computer is doing. This is why Linux users laugh. Not because they want to feel superior or smarter than everyone else, but because they stopped fighting this exhausting fight years ago. They use computers that respect them, trust them, work for them, instead of against them. And once you actually experience that, there's no going back. You can't unsee it. So what do you actually do with this information? Look, you don't have to nuke Windows tomorrow. Here's how I'd start. Download Linux Mint. Completely free. Make a bootable USB stick. There are tons of tutorials. It's super easy. Here's the crazy part. You can try Linux without installing it. It runs straight off the USB. You can click around, test your game, see how it feels. No commitment, no risk. Your Windows installation sits there, completely untouched. Windows 10 support officially ended October 14, 2025. Microsoft wants you to throw out your perfectly good computer and buy new hardware just to run Windows 11. Or you could install Linux on your current PC for free, and it'll probably run better than Windows ever did. Here's my challenge to you. Try Linux Mint this week. Just once. Throw it on a USB, boot it up, click around for 20 minutes. You don't have to decide anything today. Just see how it feels to use a computer that isn't actively fighting you. Because here's what Linux users figured out a long time ago. The best antivirus? Not Windows Defender. The best privacy tool? Not even a VPN. The best way to actually take control of your computer? Use an operating system that was never trying to control you in the first place. Drop a penguin emoji down in the comments if you're actually going to try this. And hey, if you've got concerns, what about this program or will this work? Drop those too. I'll answer every single one. Look, I've spent weeks fighting with Windows just to get basic privacy. I'm exhausted. Maybe it's time we all just stop fighting. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see what's actually possible beyond Windows, because I promise you, it's so much better than you think. See you in the next one.